Hi guys, good afternoon. It is Wednesday afternoon and I'm gonna continue with the story. It's getting really good. Alice jumped into the lake. We ended up with her saving Millie. So let's see what happens. Let's see if you guys made some good predictions or not. Okay, are you ready? Millie felt herself being pulled through the water and then dragged up onto the sandy beach. She heard her rescuer collapse beside her, gasping. As soon as she could move, Millie pushed herself onto her hands and knees and half crawled, half scuttled into the bushes so that her savior, the girl she thought was the no-fur girl, wouldn't be able to see her. Never, never, never let a no-fur catch you and see what you look like. She heard her parents and her teachers and old Aunt Yella telling her this for years and years and years. She was here in no fur world with a no fur girl. Her fondest wish has come true. When she managed to get herself hidden, she retched and started to throw up all the water that she has swallowed from the lake, and it just kept pouring out of her. Millie looked down. Her dress was soaked through, which she could see her fur. Her pockets were empty, so the vial of potion was lost somewhere in the lake. Her hairy feet with their curvy claws were bare, which meant her ruby slippers were probably at the bottom of the lake as well. She pat her head, trying to smooth her hair back. She smiled a little as her fingers found the bow she had clipped in on the other side of the lake that she felt a million years ago. Peeking through the bushes, she saw the other girl get up. She was beautiful, big and solid like Millie always wished she could be, and thick, gleaming hair running down her back, strong, strong arms, and tanned legs. The girl deftly twisted her hair into a coil, wringing it out before flipping it over her shoulder and looking around. "Hello, hello," she called. "I'm back here," Millie said. She knew she could just run away, leave before the girl could get a good look at her, and tell the grown-ups that she had just fished a real live Bigfoot out of the lake, but Millie couldn't make herself do it. How many times had she dreamed of a night like this where she'd meet a no-furred kid and they'd talk and discover all the things that they had in common and become friends. All thoughts of the next stage finale had fled in the presence of real live no-fur girl. Millie had a million questions, and this could be the only chance she'd have in her entire life to get some answers. "Are you okay?" the no-fur girl was asking. She had taken off her top shirt and was repeating the wringing out process. Millie could see muscles flex in the back of her hands as she worked to get all the water out of her shirt. And how would she explain why she was standing in the bushes? She did some fake coughing to buy herself a little bit of time and decided that maybe she can trust this girl. "I'm okay," she said. "It's only that my dress is kind of see-through and I'm a little bit hairy." The girl winced, a sympathetic kind of wince, Millie thought. "Is your stomach okay?" she asked. "Do you need a drink?" "Oh, that would be lovely," Millie said in a fancy kind of voice like she had heard on a commercial from the TV show. "Also, maybe a little snackle." That was a very, very long swim. The no-fur girl looked puzzled. Millie worried that maybe she'd been rude or she said something wrong. "I have brownies," the girl finally said. Sure enough, the girl looked around, then walked up the beach a ways and came back with a white plate filled with brownies. Brownies! Millie had seen the commercials but has never tasted one. Before she could stop herself, she had her hand shot through the bushes and snatched a dark brown square of pastry from the top of the plate. "Thank you," she said. The rich, dense sweetness seemed to explode in her tongue, filling her mouth and throat with unimaginable deliciousness. Millie moaned out loud. "I know," said the no-fur girl, sounding shy and proud. "I came up with the recipe myself." Millie crammed a bit of brownie into her mouth and then closed her eyes, chewing in ecstasy. If no-furs had these, if they could eat them anytime they wanted, how did they get anything done? Why would they want to do anything else but just eat brownies? If Millie was a no-fur, that's what she'd do. She'd eat brownies all day and all night. Except now, she was thirsty. "Excuse me, but did you perhaps bring some water?" she asked, taking care to keep her language polite and nice and correct. "I'll go get some," she said. She turned on her heel and ran towards the school. "Leave, just leave now," Millie heard a little voice in her head. Just leave before she even knew. Instead, Millie helped herself to another 2 brownies. The girl couldn't see her through the bushes, at least not well anyway. And even if she did, Millie would use the line that the Yar Littles had been taught to say as soon as they could speak, the line that were instructed to recite over and over and over again if the Nofers ever found them. I have a glandular condition. She shook her fur briskly, sending drops of water splashing onto the shrubbery and the sand, and gobbled the first brownie, then ate the second one in a little bites instead. She was considering whether she could put a few in her pockets when the girl came back. The Nofer girl was holding a glass bottle of water and another bottle with milk and a stack of towels and a dark blue sweater with a hood attached. Here, she said, these are from the Lost and Found. Millie had no idea what a Lost and Found was, but she was very thankful to get the water, but that struggled to put the sweatshirt over her head. The sweatshirt smelled sweet and felt soft and had a little pocket in the front for her hands. Thank you. I am Millie, and who might you be? I'm Alice, said the Nofer. Alice, Millie repeated, tasting the name in her mouth. Alice and Millie. That sounded good together. Are you sure you're okay? Do you want me to take you to the nurse or the shower? We can go back to my cabin. No, Millie shouted. And Alice silenced. She remembered her grand sounding voice. I mean, no, thank you, of course. She had loved to explore the school and take a shower. The Yar only had tubs, and to see that the Nofer goods she could acquire from the found and lost, but she knew she couldn't risk exposing herself to more than one Nofer at a time. She lowered her voice. No, I'll be okay. It's warm enough. I'll be dry soon. The sweating shirt is nice and warm. You mean sweatshirt, Alice said, sounding very amused. Sweatshirt, Millie repeated, and filed the word away. So, Alice, do you live in the school? Yep. Millie wasn't sure, but she didn't think that Alice sounded entirely happy about it. I've been here since September. And where is your home? New York City. Millie couldn't keep herself from bouncing on the balls of her feet with glee. New York City was where friends lived, where movie stars and other famous people lived, and where the next stage was filmed. She had wanted to know everything about New York, about the subway, and whether Alice lived in a skyscraper, and if she knew any movie stars, and if she had ever been to a Thanksgiving Day parade. But before she could begin, the Nofer asked some questions of her own. Were you trying to swim the whole way across the lake? And where did you come from? Oh dear, Millie coughed for a while, trying to come up with a story. I was camping with my parents, Ross and Rachel, on the other side of the lake in a tent with a lantern and bags of sleep. You mean sleeping bags? Alice said. Millie paused. As you said. But then Ross's pet monkey, Marcel, ran to the lake. I was chasing Marcel, and he was swimming away, and then I was all the way in the middle of the water, and then I was here. Millie paused, praying that Alice was buying this. Did you happen to see the small monkey run away too? No, I haven't seen a monkey. Your parents are going to freak out if they wake up and see you aren't there. Freak out? What does that mean? Yes, Millie ventured, but they are very good sleepers. She sighed. I should go back, though, just as soon as I catch my breath. But she couldn't leave until she asked at least a few more questions. How many are you? Do you miss your parents? Do you ever go home? Do you take a train or a plane? Are you having any brothers or sisters or pets? What's your favorite TV show? Alice started laughing. Slow down. One question at a time. All right, yes, Millie said. Where do you go to school? Alice asked. I'm homeschooled with a few other kids in my village. Alice seemed to accept that. And where do you live? When you are not camping. Oh, not far, Millie said, gesturing vaguely towards the other side of the lake. Then before Alice could ask any more questions that Millie wouldn't be able to answer, Millie blurted, do you have a favorite singer? Have you ever been to a concert? Do you know how to do ice skating? Can you ride a bike? Let's see, Alice said, lifting her finger with one answer. I can ice skate and ride a bike, but I didn't ever really ride my bike except in the summertime in Cape Cod. My favorite TV show is Gilmore Girls. I watched the whole season this summer with my granny, and I take my parents' car home. You can drive, Millie said. Oh, no. They have a driver. He comes. Let's see. I don't have any brothers and sisters or pets. My father's allergic to children or animals, Millie asked. Alice laughed, and Millie did too, wondering why the other girl hadn't answered the question about whether she missed her parents, and also what kind of parents would send a little girl away. Alice sat in the patch of grass next to the bushes and flipped her thick, beautiful hair over her shoulders. Millie sighed. It must be nice to live with lots of other girls. I bet you're having many friends. Nope, Alice said briefly. With that one word, her whole expression changed. She wilted like the flowers after Florrie dumped a whole can of water on them instead of just sprinkling it gently. Her chin tucked into her chest and her eyes turned towards the ground. Why not? Millie asked. Because I look funny. What do you mean? Alice frowned and paused. Millie wondered if she'd done something wrong or asked a rude question. Because of my hair, because of my feet, she said, arranging herself so that she was sitting on them before Millie could take a really good look at them. Then her head bowed and her chin almost touching her chest, she muttered, because I'm ugly, and I'm so much bigger than the rest of them. Millie was shocked. You're not ugly. You are beautiful. Alice was half smiling and half shaking her head. You saved my life. You're lucky to be big and strong. In my tribe, Millie bit her lip, hoping Alice hadn't heard that. In my village, being big is a good fortune. It means you're strong and fast, she said. I wish, but never mind what she wished. She wanted to learn everything she could know about Alice. Do you like to go to the movies? Sometimes. There's a theater in Standish. Have you ever been on a plane? Yes, lots of times. And when are you seeing your parents? On vacations every few months and then in the summertime. Every few months? Millie couldn't believe it. She could hardly believe that a few minutes a day she would talk to her parents and only see them a little bit. They must be missing you oh so much. I don't think my parents miss me all that much. They send me away to all the time. Schools, camps. Millie's eyes got wide. Since you were little? I'm only really with them a few weeks out of the year. I'm sorry, guys. So, you do as you please? Millie said. My parents don't leave me alone, not ever. When I'm in the garden or swimming or in the kitchen, they are there. Once my mother followed me to lessons. We were doing spelling and I looked out the window and I saw her feet behind the mulberry bush. One time my mother left me in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Alice said. I was in kindergarten and we were on a school trip and the parents were supposed to pick us up at the museum instead of school. But my mother forgot me. She didn't even send the nanny. My mother, said Millie, used to chew my food for me when I was little. She said I had tiny teeth and I needed to be helped. My mother made me order school uniforms for kindergarten by myself. She gave me a catalog and a credit card and told me to buy whatever I needed. My mother makes my dresses for me. That matches hers, said Millie. I'm too big to wear my mother's dresses, Alice said, in a voice that was quiet. She wondered exactly how small Alice's mother was and if she had some illness or disease that kept her child size. So your parents are pretty strict, Alice said. You have no idea, Millie said. Her fur was now drying and bristling, and she must have sounded funny because Alice was smiling. They are not letting me watch shows of my choosing. They shush me when I sing. They make me work in the garden and tend to the goat. And when I grow up, I'll have to take over my father's job, and I won't get to pick my own way. What's your father's job? Thinking fast, Millie came up with a truish kind of answer. He has a farm, she said. Oh, so you'll be a farmer. Close enough, Millie thought. I'll be the boss of the farm. And you don't want to be on the farm? I want to sing, said Millie, with such forcefulness that surprised her. I want to be famous and on TV, and if I could, I think I could do what I want to do and just try to be a singer and try to be famous. They don't want me to be watching any sort of shows, especially The Next Stage, and it is my absolute favorite. Alice considered this. Can't you watch it somewhere else, like at a friend's house or something? There's only one TV in my village. Alice looked shocked. Only one TV? Are you like Amish? Millie held her breath. What was Amish? I had no idea. She looked for a word. Bigfoot. She can't say that. But no, Alice had asked anyway, as if Amish was something exotic, but not strange and dangerous and possibly not even real like a Bigfoot. Not Amish, Millie said. They just don't believe that television is improving our minds. She exhaled in relief when Alice nodded, feeling like she vaulted over the high and invisible hurdle. We have one TV set in the lodge, said Alice. They mostly show us educational movies about Egypt and things like that, but I bet I could get permission to watch something else. She paused. They owe me. Why? She said. Why are they owing you? Something happened, said Alice. Her tone warned Millie not to push. Millie could have told Alice that the show season was over, that there wouldn't be any new shows until spring, but then she wouldn't have an excuse to come back, and she already knew that she wanted to come back and spend more time in this girl's company and learn more about the world that she was so fascinated about for so long. Will you still be camping next week? Alice asked. Yes, my parents have taken me out of school for a semester, she pronounced with a word of care and hoped it was the right one. They can leave their farm for that long? Oh, well, the farm is near the camping. We are in a community with others. Phoebe and Monica, Joey and Chandler, they can help with the chores while we are away. If I could sneak away, I could meet you. We could watch together. I can make popcorn. I mean, if you want to watch with me. Of course I do, said Millie. Will there be other, no fur, she almost said it, other kids there? Through the bushes, Millie could see Alice had a strange, unhappy expression on her face. It is only that other kids sometimes think I'm strange, Millie explained. Alice brightened. Me too. They think I'm really strange. This made no sense. If Alice lived in Millie's tribe, she'd be the best-loved girl, more popular even than Tulip. No furs must be strange not to accept her, Millie thought. She wouldn't make the same mistake. This no fur named Alice had saved her life. She also had access to a television set, and she even can make brownies. Millie looked up at the sky, which was starting to shift from black to gray. She imagined her mother waking up and finding pillows instead of Millie in her bed. I should go, she said. Do you have a phone so I can text you? Alice asked. No, but I'm on the line. I have an email address. This was a secret that not even old Aunt Yetta knew. The year before, Millie had set up an account so that she could vote for her favorite singers on the next stage. She paused and then shyly recited, furrymillie@standishonline.com. I think I can remember that. I'll write to you. I'll write back. Millie trotted down the path, hoping that in the dark her new friend wouldn't notice her fur, and feeling happier than she ever had in a long time. She yelled out, "So long, farewell," she called to her friend Alice. When she turned to look back, Alice was standing there, waving and watching her go. So I wonder what's going to happen now. Now that they sort of met one another, they have a little bit of a connection, but Alice still doesn't know that she's a no-fur, that she is a Bigfoot. So let's think about what could happen. Look back in your email later. I will send you a question to answer. I hope you guys are having a really good day, and I'll see you soon.